fascinated with the unknown and paranormal realms since childhood. After a profound experience with my grandmother's spirit 20 years ago, I have been on a quest to observe, study, investigate, and communicate with the afterlife and beyond. It's been an ongoing journey of exploration and discovery, one that has taught me how mortality and the spirit world are forever bonded through the veils of time.
Too soon there. My apologies. Brand new intro, and I was trying to time it. Okay. So, of course, you're tuning into another episode of the Afterlife Chronicles and Beyond. I am your host, Nicole Strickland, of course, on the WLTKDB network. That's WLTKDB.com. Of course, let's not forget to mention the other URL there, theletstalk.com. We are streaming live on all the social channels here, just with that handle, WLTKDB. I'm very much excited, like I am every night, because I love all my guests, but I'm very much excited for tonight's show. Two very fabulous guests coming on. Before I talk about them and introduce them, let's make a few announcements. So first of all, the website, WLTKDB, it's fantastic. It's very festive. So if you get over there, sign on there, get on the link, and you'll see how beautifully decorated it is for Christmas. Because you know what? We all need a little bit of cheer. It's crazy times right now, right? So it'll definitely bring a smile on your face. And of course, I need to drink some more of my water. So anyways, and then of course, speaking of the station, there is a break, of course, starting December 20th through January 3rd there. So no shows, December 20th through January 3rd. A couple of quick announcements. I've already made them before, but I'll say them again. So I'm working on a short ebook here that I'm going to feature on my website, authornicolestrickland.com. And it's basically the essentials of paranormal investigation and research, kind of an overview of all of that. So if there's any interesting topics that you want me to address, please shoot me a message on Facebook, contact me at my email, nicolepisd@gmail.com. And of course, if you'd like to be a guest on the Afterlife Chronicles show, feel free to contact me, through those methods, or the Afterlife Chronicles Facebook page, Afterlife Chronicles and Beyond there. Kind of a long name, Afterlife Chronicles and Beyond. And then, of course, a second book announcement, along with Denise Agnew and Marie Jones. The three of us are going to be starting our book, Women on the Fringe, Groundbreaking Women in the Paranormal. And so we're going to be starting to contact people in January for that. That's a very great project. We're all looking forward to it with Black Spot Books. So very, very exciting news. But anyways, enough of me right now. Let's segue into tonight's show. Very, very honored to have these two on, Seth Michael and Tristan David Luciotti, who are friends of mine and colleagues of mine from the Pacific Northwest. I met them both through the Oregon Ghost Conference, of course, headed up by Rocky Smith. Fabulous, amazing conference up there. Host Pete Orbea of his show, Paranormal Pete, also hosts the Port Gamble Ghost Conference as well. So if you want really good quality paranormal conferences, head up to the Pacific Northwest the end of March. Oregon Ghost Conference, and then in November is the Port Gamble Ghost Conference. So, of course, Seth Michael is a renowned psychic medium, spiritual advisor, and co-founder of the White Light Paranormal Insight team. And I just had a motorcycle go down my street. Sorry about that. And, of course, Tristan David Luciotti, multifaceted, both of these individuals, award-winning filmmaker, actor, Reiki master, creative aficionado, and content creator. Lots of websites here to give out to, and we can give those out at the end. But anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and bring these two guys in. How are you doing tonight?
Great.
Awesome to see you. It's been a while.
So well. Yes.
Right? I mean,
so
my goodness, it's been like 3 years almost that I haven't seen you in person. What's going on with that? Oh my gosh.
COVID.
I know, right? I mean, let me turn my volume up. I know. It's like, oh my gosh.
I know. But it's so great to see your face and hear your voice. And,
you too.
Yeah. We're just, I I know, speaking for myself, I'm absolutely honored to be a guest on your show tonight.
Yeah.
And hi, Seth. Always a
Hi.
pleasure to see Seth. I have gotten to hug Seth a couple times
Oh,
live
see
and in
that?
person.
Oh,
Which has been
virtual
awesome.
hugs. Virtual hugs, right? Oh my
Definitely.
gosh. I just, I forgot to announce at the beginning, I first met Seth, I believe it was 2015, and then Tristan, I think it was 2016,
Yeah.
all through the Oregon Ghost Conference. I mean, the paranormal community up there is just fantastic. I boast
Really
about
is.
it. I brag about it because I should. It's just an amazing community, and I am super honored to know all of you up there. So it's been great.
Likewise.
So, and again, yeah, thanks for joining me on it. This is fairly new. I've had the show for about a year, so I'm still learning the ropes of radio and all that, but it's a lot of fun.
I love your intro.
Oh,
Yeah.
Todd Bates did that, station
That's
owner,
awesome.
good friend of mine. He's also hosts Haunted Voices Radio on Tuesday nights as well. So yeah, that's all him. Yep, totally. Not me, him.
Well done.
Oh my gosh, me and my water.
You
So
know,
anyways,
that's behind you, that your
What's
lights
that?
up, your lights are up.
Yeah, I have my little bookshelf back there. You can't really see them. I need a better webcam. I'm just using the one on my MacBook. But yeah, it's just one of those little battery operated string lights.
Nice.
So
This is my
yeah,
dog Glitter.
I love.
You see the picture behind me?
I
It's
love.
a big picture of Glitter, my chihuahua.
I love that. Is it an actual picture or is it a portrait?
It actually is. It's an actual picture that I got on a canvas on one of those good old Groupon
That's his
deals.
dog.
Those are all. That's amazing.
That's our niece dog.
That's right.
Yeah.
That is
Oh my
exactly
gosh.
right.
Yeah.
They're
Seth,
amazing.
Aunt Jill.
Oh my gosh, this is such a reunion. I love it. We
Yes.
have so much to talk about, and I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, what should we start with first? I mean, because every topic tonight, all the topics that we're going to discuss almost blend in together. So I'm trying to think, let's go ahead and start with, I mean, most listeners that are listening now already know you guys, but in case there are some that don't, let's start with how the two of you became acquainted with each other. And
That's
then what
exactly
came
what I was
about
saying.
because, yeah, okay, see?
I was
Great
on the
minds-
same track. I was going to suggest, yeah.
Great minds think alike. So let's start with that because it's a wonderful journey how you two met and then what came about from that. So whoever wants to go first.
I'll let Seth start.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. So it began, I was doing some group readings, which is we go to the person's house, and they have their family and friends there, and we do an intimate reading in the spiritualist frame of thinking. It's a platform reading, basically, but a small venue. And then my guides were suggesting that I branch out and do gallery readings, which is a larger platform reading, which could be up to 100 people. So like 20 to, I think it held about over 100 people. I think the most we had was 60 at one time. So I finally was ready to do that. And then on a group reading, one of the ladies, she actually is in the movie, and she talks about, I think she mentions the zebra, because a zebra came through in one of the readings with her grandfather. And it turned out that he used to train the neighbor's zebra to come to him for treats because they were going to put it down so that uncle saved the zebra.
Oh my goodness. What? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
so it's really cool. So they wanted and in the meantime, they were trying to get a theater to start their community theater. And I remember I got a lot of info came through that helped them be guided to one they called Twilight Community Theater, or Twilight
Theater Company.
So thank you.
Sure.
And so they invited me to do that. But first they wanted me to come through and see what all spirits were maybe there and talk about that. And then so I walked up the stairs, and there's this really friendly, dark-haired guy going, "Hey!"
Yeah. I remember watching him walk up the stairs, and I saw him. I was so excited. I was like sitting there waiting for you. Because I was so excited about what was going to happen, and I was always so interested in the paranormal, and like just knowing that He was a medium and could communicate with spirits, and we are going to do kind of like this, almost like a mini sort of investigation,
Right,
I don't know
right.
what you call it, but him just kind of talking to spirits, like you said. And but yeah, and I remember just like
You made
introducing
me feel
myself.
really comfortable because you never know
Good.
what you're going to expect always. Even when you're going to go and read spirits, or people going to be like, oh, okay, what's here? Or, hey, what's here? Be more open. You guys were all open to anything happening. And
Come
that was
on
a
in.
real comfortable atmosphere.
That's
Definitely.
awesome.
I felt like,
Yeah.
I mean, after that day, it's like I felt like we got along really well, just pretty easily.
Yeah.
And I just, I mean, Seth's easy just to love. I mean, as soon as you meet
Yeah,
Seth,
oh
he's
yeah.
just so full of light and just so, I mean, just wonderful. And so
You both
it was
are.
really,
Yeah.
Oh,
and
both
he
are.
is, yeah. I was going to say that about you too, Tristan.
thank you. But yeah, for me, I felt like I kind of knew him. It's like when you meet somebody for the first time, but you're like,
Yeah.
I think I've known you before. So probably something past life with us. I don't know, something. Just, or just
Yeah.
connected, mutual, soul something, But yeah, so basically, we went through this whole walk through and going through all the different stage and the bathrooms and stuff, and some things did happen and stuff, and Seth was communicating. It was really amazing. And so for me, I had this idea because I'm a filmmaker, and I thought, but for me at the time, it was like more like I hadn't really done anything yet with that. It had been years since I had really even done anything for film. I had been doing acting, but I was ready to really get serious and create something. And so I thought, you know what? I have an idea, and this wouldn't be too hard. But maybe I'll just make like a short, like just do like a little short film, a short documentary film
Right on.
about Seth. And I wonder if he'll be into it. And I was like, I just want to show the reality of this because, for me at the time, and for most of us, what do we see? We see all the stuff on TV, and
Yep.
a pretty good majority of it is stuff that's not. It's already like kind of pre-planned, and not everything's like 100% real, and the reactions are a little bit bigger than probably normal of
Yep.
believability. And it was just like I think this would be really great. I just want to show it. Lo and behold, I had no idea. So I brought this to Seth. So I'll let Seth tell you how he felt when I first told him.
It was after a gallery reading that you went to, and I think your grandfather might have come through.
Majorly. And of course, and Seth was like, it was totally my grandfather, and Seth was communicating like so strongly. And he was saying things like, there's no way Seth would know at all. Like just one thing I have to say, because it was so amazing and I'll never forget it, was Seth said, he's like, I see where it's like, I see your grandmother like in her house, and your grandfather's saying like, there's like moving boxes. Send me about moving boxes. And I was like, oh my God, like that day my mom had brought moving boxes that day to my grandmother's house because
wow,
they sold the house that she was moving. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
Exactly. Yeah.
You would never have known that.
No.
I was like, this guy's legit. This guy's got a gift.
After that, then because you were excited about your experience, I think you were saying you really wanted to, like just put that out there, this possibilities of connecting and how good it feels.
Oh, yeah. And for me, it's like so taboo because like I was raised in a very strict Christian home. And so for me, it's like that was always like very taboo, like bad. And then it's like here I am in a gallery reading, witnessing the healing from this. And it touched me in a deep way because not only, did my grandfather come through, but many people, like many spirits came through. And I'm seeing people just like crying, closure being able to happen, just this release of, I was like, this is amazing. Like to me, I'm like, this is something that people need to see what this is really doing.
Exactly, the reality
healing
of it.
involved, and just
it's incredible,
beautiful.
Incredible to be a part of.
Oh.
Yes,
even on our end.
I miss those gallery meetings. I gotta say.
And one of the reasons I admire you both is because you're both so genuine and real, and we need more of that, just in life in general, but working in the paranormal and working with spiritual energies, you need that. You need that compassion, you need that respect, and you need that reverence. And so that's one of the reasons why I really admire the two of you. And this documentary, All Around Us, I mean, of course, I just blurted it out, but everyone already knows about it anyways. You know, it's just absolutely an amazing way to demonstrate the authenticity of being a psychic medium and working with the spirit world. So I can't thank you enough for both of your guys' work doing it. It's truly amazing.
Well, it felt really good when he brought the project. I took a little time to think about it, but it just kept feeling yes. And then I started writing down all the topics. And I really jumped in with 2 feet. I think I overwhelmed Tristan a little bit with all the topics.
I remember, oh my God.
I know he wanted to have I came out with this huge, because there's so many things.
I forgot about that.
Once you start thinking about it, you know, it's like kids are a topic, you know, kids that are seeing spirits and empath ability and how that intertwines in with mediumistic abilities and connecting with spirits and people that had experiences. And my other friends, you know, I told them about them, like Teresa and Aurora and you and everybody that's in the film. I just got so excited, and he thankfully went, you know, he didn't put a kibosh on it. He did his best and you know, trying to follow me there.
I remember that paper now. It was like 10 pages, and I remember, I mean, it was like coming over, because like, you know, he came over to my house, and I remember it was like 10 pages, and I was like looking at all this, and I was like, and I just remember thinking, this is not a short film. And it wasn't. But it was so
great.
Ran
along with it, though, you know.
We condensed it. I mean, to me, that was the best thing he could have done, though. Yeah. Because it was like, first of all, you have to just get it all out, everything imaginable that can be part of it. And then it allowed us to put structure behind it. You know, we got to talk through the main parts and what really goes where. And it worked really well. I mean, like, I feel like making the movie, it was like almost kind of like the roller coaster ride. Like, you have like the great things, and then it's like kind of like, oh, we're waiting for this, and then that happens. And technical
we were trying to get used to each other, how each other works, and then, you know, it took us a bit to get to a comfortable place, and you know, so we were like a lot of adjustments. This was my first time doing something like this. This was your first full feature. And
but look how it all came about, though. Yes. You know, it's just, it bloomed into something incredible.
It really did.
You know, every single person that's involved in it, too, is just, you know, just has an amazing heart. And that shows, and we need more of that in this field. So it just was
everybody I asked said yes too.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, of course. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was blown away to be involved in it. I'm like, whoa. You know, I was blown away. I mean, just, oh my gosh. I mean, I could go on and on and on.
We wanted to have more people too, but we just, you know, we couldn't make it a 10-hour.
Yeah. I'll tell you something. We had the footage too. I'm not even
maybe
kidding.
You could do a part 2, maybe.
We thought about that, but I don't know. Right now, it doesn't seem. It just seems to be just this right now, which is good. But
I hear you.
We'll see what happens in the future, but just taking one thing at a time. So
if you buy the DVD, though, you get special bonus footage.
Yeah, exactly.
See, there you go. Exactly.
That's actually pretty cool. And there's a whole thing even on OGC. That's one of the whole behind the scenes thing.
Right.
So that's cool. The one thing I have to say really quick, because I don't think I've ever shared this before. Was when Seth was saying I had to get adjusted to. I just remember the very first video shoot. There I am with this big old camera, with a big old light, and I'm like in his face. I'm just like breaking stuff. And Seth was like trying to we're actually at a place, and he's trying, connect with spirits, and then he's just like, oh, it was like
I couldn't read anymore. Like all the spirits went away. Like all I got.
Oh my god, that's fucking happening. Oh my god, I just had
to stick that in because I've never said that one before, and I remembered it was funny. And
I bet. Let's take our first break, okay? And then, so you guys are tuning into the Afterlife Chronicles. Of course, I'm your host, Nicole Strickland, with our special guests tonight, Seth Michael and Tristan David Luciotti. And great times. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Meet Nicole Strickland, One of the leading San Diego paranormal researchers, Nicole offers a gentle and humble approach to working with spirit energies. Being the founder of the San Diego Paranormal Research Society, Nicole is no stranger to the unknown. Due to Nicole's vast knowledge of the paranormal, she is widely sought after for speaking engagements on topics like Children of the Paranormal, Paranormal Investigation 101 and 102, History of Spiritualism, and more. Not only does Nicole research the afterlife, but also writes about it, and is the author of several books pertaining to the paranormal and its history. She has appeared on television shows like My Ghost Story, Travel Channel's Famously Afraid, Good Morning San Diego, and more. Have a conference or event coming up? Contact Nicole on her website, authornicolestrickland.com. That's authornicolestrickland.com.
21 minutes past the hour. Of course, you're tuning back into the Afterlife Chronicles and Beyond. I'm your host, Nicole Strickland. Of course, tonight's guests are my great friends and colleagues from the Pacific Northwest, Seth, Michael, and Tristan David Luciotti. And before the break, we were talking about how the two of them got connected and how everything evolved with the All Around Us documentary. The website for that is allaroundusfilm.com, allaroundusfilm.com. And so let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and play the trailer for that documentary, because just in the trailer itself, you can see what an amazing film this is. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we'll come right back from that and delve more into our discussion. So we'll cue that up here. Let's see.
You only want the spirits here for the highest, greatest good.
What are some signs that a deceased loved one is trying to communicate with me?
What are earthbound spirits?
Do all spirits know that they've passed on?
Are you able to communicate with anyone that has died?
Can spirits be attached to material objects?
My dad never comes through. Why is that?
How do I protect myself in a place that has a lot of paranormal activity?
Are we able to connect with pets that have passed away?
How do I know if my son has an imaginary friend or is actually seeing spirits?
I'm Seth Michael. I help to bridge the gap between the physical and the non, and this is a glimpse inside my life.
Every night my mom and I would always check in the closet and under the bed before prayers. That way I knew no one was hiding. It wasn't until years later did I figure out why I still couldn't sleep. Everybody seemed to think my friends were imaginary when I was younger. They were just invisible.
It's fun working with other mediums. You get to kind of bounce things off of each other.
All right, you guys want to do mediumship now? Go back to spirits?
I've never had just your feet define me. It's my abilities that define me, you know. It's who I am as a person on the inside. That's the real me. I get a great satisfaction to be able to bring messages through and to see it helping somebody to get them past their grief or to get closure.
Doing past life regression has benefited me in a very powerful way. I've gone way back where I know really why I'm here and why I have the purposes and missions in the sense that I have.
People connect with their pets more than anything, and they want that love, and to reunite them and bring them back together is a very healing process.
For 6 years and being on White Light, you know, the reason I chose to be on this team and a team with mediums is because we're able to bring a sense of peace to our clients. We're able to counsel with them.
Oh my God, yes.
I just remember the sense of relief, and it really did feel, after that investigation was over, as though the energy of Wayne and Nyla were able to just move on. It was like they just needed permission to go.
It's seen as a negative thing. I mean, especially symptoms of schizophrenia, you know, things like hallucinations, hearing voices. That's really, really stigmatized. People learn to be afraid. They are then pushed to the outskirts of society rather than it being seen as a gift, as it is in many other cultures.
My whole family, everybody was acting like there was something terrible, and everyone was religious, and so they were saying things like, Satan's got a hold of her. There's evil in her. And I was horrified because I was this very religious person.
I mean, it's very, very slim that they're going to find a way to save me, a very slim chance. The only pain that I have with that has nothing to do with me moving on. It has to do with leaving my girls here without me.
I have been raised to believe that when you commit suicide, it is a one-way ticket to hell. I do not subscribe to that anymore.
What resonates with you in your heart? What is the truth? I think we all have the truth inside of ourselves.
All around us. These are the unlimited potentials that are your birthright as a free soul, and I encourage you to explore them.
In dark times, it may appear as if we are without support from the other side. It's with less fear, more faith, and an open mind that we can begin to have a deeper understanding of what's really truly all around us.
Still have to like.
Oh God!
I mean,
he did such a great job on it.
Look at us. We're all like,
I'm crying.
When I first saw it, I could watch it over. Like, damn, boy, this is so good.
Oh my gosh!
It's like I haven't watched it in a while, and I'm like crying. I mean,
I know. I was sitting here too.
That trailer.
Oh my gosh! You two and everyone involved in this. We're giving a voice to the spirit world, and it's so beautiful to see that, because nowadays they're often exploited. Spiritual residents are often exploited and misrepresented and all of this. And then you have this beautiful thing, this documentary, and it's not only educational, but it really goes to show that the bonds that we have with our loved ones that aren't here with us anymore remain, So amazing, yes. Amazing. Again, that website is allaroundusfilm.com. Oh my gosh, you guys must be so proud of yourself. You really
to me,
big accomplishment.
It was a big accomplishment. I'm proud of that. I think the best thing though was for me, and it was just like I'm looking at all the people that were in it, and I got to meet all those people for the first time through Seth. And it's just like, here I'm going to cry again, but it's just because it really just, the friendships I was able to make, and just the whole experience and the places I got to go, like I'm looking at it, looking at the people I interviewed and just remembering those moments and stuff. And even in Sedona, Arizona, doing that interview.
Sedona.
I'm just like, I'm looking at it all again and just all the emotions and the feelings. And it was just like, it's like when you're filming it all for 3 years, like at the end of it, you're like, whew, I'm done. But now that I'm watching the trailer, like now it's like a couple, it's like years later. And after it being done, I'm kind of like, oh God, I miss it.
I know.
I know. Right? I'm like, that was so amazing. And all the things we were doing and
yeah.
Oh,
and
God.
the premiere too, the worldwide premiere in Seaside. Oh my gosh.
That was so phenomenal.
Cool.
That was amazing, right? The Oregon Coast Conference premiering there. With all the people, pretty much almost everybody that was in it was able to be there. Not everyone, but it was just amazing.
Absolutely.
For me, it's like I've made, at this point, a lot of other films at this point, like especially like short films and stuff. But for me, this will always be really just the one that I'm the most proud of, and I feel. Nothing. The emotion I feel tied to this film, nothing could ever beat that.
Right.
Nothing.
Exactly. And it shows too. It shows in every single second of it. And speaking of projects, you guys are both a part of a video game.
Yes.
So I want to get into that because this is so cool, guys. So Tristan, let's start with you. So let's talk all about this video game. I mean, oh my gosh, you guys, like, I don't mean to patronize you, but oh my God, I mean, the talent here is amazing. Like, I can't get over it. A video game, like.
Seriously, Seth, I had no idea how good he would be at voiceover work. I mean, it's amazing. Oh my gosh.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Seth. I mean, seriously, it was like what I had him. He picked a role, and he's Uncle Jack in The Haunting of Flavel House, and how Uncle Jack presents himself is through a Jack in the Box, but it's a spirit of a real uncle, but presents as it's like the jump, the Jack in the Box arises in it. And, that's a part of a fun thing. But yeah, Seth was amazing at voiceover work. Like, he changed his voice to this most amazing voice, and I couldn't believe it. But of course,
oh my gosh, I can't wait
have
to
to
see
just
it.
laugh. I mean, Seth, I'm going to drag you into more things too in the future.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, it's so much fun. Definitely. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, so the game is called The Haunting of Flavel House, and this is going back now a couple of years itself. So after, making films for a bit, I do plan to do another one also this coming summer. So I just want to say that.
Nice.
But I was like, I really love video games, and I played. There's actually a video game series I felt connected to, which was the Life is Strange series, and I was like, well, this is interesting. It's like this whole story, and you're really getting emotionally tied to these characters. And I thought, I want to do something like that. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
And so I basically had it to where we are using the Flavel House in Astoria, Oregon. And so some people get confused. They think we're actually inside Captain George Conrad Flavel's house, and we're not. So they've that real pretty one that you can go in and stuff like that.
Yes.
We're not in that house. We're in the house not everyone knows about.
Okay.
And this house is actually after his son, Harry Flavel. So there's so much story. I mean, I know we don't have time to go through everything, but literally, if you don't know about the Flavel family, look it up, and especially read about just everything, with even Harry Flavel, how the whole thing breaks down. I mean, it's very interesting.
And this is in Astoria, right? Okay,
And
yeah. Karen and Jim and Karen Fraser actually drove me on the way to the Oregon Ghost Conference. I want to say it was 2000, might have been 2016, 2017. I got to go through Astoria. Oh my gosh.
I love Astoria.
I know, it's beautiful.
There's something there that just draws me to it.
Yeah, yeah.
But this house is the one that, really, it was pretty much all boarded up for a while. It looked pretty spooky. And then it's been, sold and rebought several times. It keeps looking like they're trying to do something with it. But, so basically, Harry Flavel's house is on, I've got the address here. I was going to say it because you can drive by. It's 627 15th Street in Astoria, Oregon. And so I got with the Clatsop County Historical Society and got permission to use the Flavel name. And at first I called it Flavel.
I'm glad you said it because I would have said Flavel and sounded like a complete idiot.
Can I tell you something? I said Flavel first until I was corrected. I did. I was like the Haunting of Flavel House. And then I forget who it was, but it was, and they're like Flavel House. I was like,
whoops.
Oh, my bad.
Is that the one?
Yeah, thank you, Seth. Yes, that's it.
See it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Everybody see it? Here, I'll put it up for a second.
So that's what it was like, creepy. And now
it does.
Look as creepy. They've redone it just a hair, but thank you for that. So yeah, it's a house. And so I picked that one. And so I changed names. So I kept the last name. Okay.
Okay.
But for instance, instead of Captain George Flavel, I have John. Harry is Henry. And Henry is portrayed as a young boy. And so the story's different. I've created my own story. And how it starts off basically is that these are now the spirits living inside this home. Okay. I go way back. I just changed the whole story. And basically, the spirits are there from 1923. So that's what's going on. Going back in time.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
But we've got a paranormal investigators. We have David and Amy. Amy doesn't last long, and that's okay to say because you'll notice that pretty quickly on in the game, poor thing.
Oh my God.
But you play as David. And so David, the main character, and it's first-person game. So you only see David one time when he looks in a mirror, okay? He starts off in the basement. He's got amnesia. He's a paranormal investigator. We don't know what's going on. He starts going through, notices some things going on, and like it's a game where basically it's almost like a puzzle, okay?
Okay.
So you're having to like touch different things and figure out codes in order to get things to add to a bag, like a flashlight here, a hammer there, things that you need. We also have so basically we also see like the spirits going by and stuff. We can hear talking. I have it to where there's an EVP session actually with a recorder, which is pretty cool.
Way.
And so so I have it
that?
so I have it where David's asking questions, and there's a pause, just like we do, and then on playback you get to hear the spirit's voice answer the questions on the playback. So pretty cool.
That's so cool. Oh my God.
Yeah, and so it's a really cool story. It's a very good storyline, I have to say. And it's a big mystery. And so basically, there's a family secret that you get to uncover, and there's 5 different levels.
Okay.
And once again, just like how I was like, oh, we're gonna film all around us the film, and we're gonna be done in a year.
Right.
You know, video games aren't quick either. So. Yeah.
I can't even imagine. I mean, that to get used to all the software and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
so
you know,
we have a developer. And so basically,
okay, good.
Ymer is our developer, and he is awesome. But of course, it's like through COVID and stuff. I mean, he got sick. He also got like even this, just all these different things with family and stuff, and just pushing out as much as humanly possible. And so, you know, we've been working together. He's great. But again, it's just like it's a lot of coding, and me wanting certain things like the EVP recording, like that's not easy to code.
I can imagine.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's like he's really working it. But oh my gosh, it looks so good.
I can't wait to play it and see it. And so essentially, I guess the story you created is inspired from the history, but it's just the story itself is more or less fictional, your creation, but inspired from the history, which I think is, that's neat. That is neat because it gives it a little bit of a genuine feel, but then you have that inspiration from an actual historical event. That's really cool.
Thank you. And there's a lot of research involved. I mean, for me too, it was also creating the characters. What do they look like? I mean, it was a process of having where another designer was doing all different sketches at first. I was submitting different photos, and then also the casting. So we like Seth is, you know, Uncle Jack. Well, we have a full cast.
Wow.
And so I basically pulled in, I have people that, so for instance, Kristen Gray, she's a voice in it. Okay.
Oh, great.
I'm actually playing the lead voice. So I play David, that character. And that's been really fun. I've always loved doing voiceover work. And so that's been a really fun experience. But also we have actors. So we have a lot of local Pacific Northwest actors that are voiceover actors that are in this as well. And wow, just really amazing jobs. And then we had a Kickstarter, and then there was a couple people that actually they were doing the donations and stuff to help out with the video game, and a couple of them actually got the reward to be a voiceover actor, but they were already actors anyway. And I was like, I probably would have just hired you anyway, but thanks for the money to help me for the game.
I know, right? Oh my gosh.
I know, but it's something. It's a whole new world.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's been amazing. It looks really good. I mean, it looks. I was kind of blown away. I was not expecting it to look as good as it does.
I was on the website earlier today and just seeing the photos, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really well designed, very well executed. And speaking of that website, it's Shakabra Games, right? .com.
Yep. Shakabra Games. That's right.
Sorry, I have to do it. Woo!
loose. Hang loose. That's right.
Shaka bra. Yeah,
Shaka
totally.
bra.
Oh my gosh. Go on there. Shaka Bra Games. So for those that are like, wait, how do you spell that? SHAKABRAH games.com. So cool. So when are you planning to actually release it?
Seth.
There it is. Ah, there's the logo. I love it. Oh my gosh.
So for us, I mean, basically, my proposed time was going to be the end of this year. So that was my proposed time.
Right. Okay.
There was like the reason why it's going to have to wait till next year now is because, again, with the developer, I am not a master, person that can do all of that work. I had to hire someone to do all the development because, I mean, if I did it would not look anything like it does. There'd be like not much functionality.
There's so much to know.
There's a lot to piece together, and also just like putting the voiceovers in the right spots and stuff like that, and the movements, and then like again, it's a puzzle, and so every time something happens, it has to be memorized, and what people are doing. It's quite an in-depth game, and so it's what we're looking at right now is going to be June of 2022. So I thought we'd get it done by December.
That's not too far off.
It's really not too bad. I was pushing for it to be December of this year. And so I thought, well, I'm going to have to do it about 6 more months, only because it's just like I didn't want him to rush. And he was like, I can do it. And I was like, I don't feel comfortable. I just don't feel comfortable because I don't want it to. It's like I don't want there to have a bunch of bugs, which just means that people get stuck on some places. So a bug basically is something that's technically going wrong. I didn't want to be released. People are like, what is going on here?
Yeah, I bet. Oh my gosh. So I love how there's an actual EVP session in there. That's super cool. Is there anything, I'm sure there is, but anything else in terms of paranormal methodology featured in the game for people to use, I guess, when they're playing the game?
Yeah. So basically when it comes to like the tools and stuff, I mean, I want to say the recorder is probably one of the main things that we have with that.
That's great though.
It was hard to do so much. Mostly everything else though is we do have, I do have where, I mean, I do have it to where he is able to hear the spirits though. And he actually can see apparitions.
Cool. Okay.
And you can see apparitions appear, and he is able to communicate with spirits. And it's not that he's a medium or anything. It's just kind of like they're doing, it's like full on apparitions. He's hearing stuff. So it's like just the spirits itself with the house. Right. And then there are some things I would say that it's not necessarily tools, but there's paranormal things that happen, I should say.
Right. Okay. Oh, yeah. I can't wait till it comes out. And let me know because I'll start promoting it. I'll promote away. Yes. So June of 2020. It's not too far off.
No,
time flies by so fast, but that's super, super exciting. With that note, let's go ahead and take our second break of the night. And then when we come back, I want to delve more into white light paranormal insight, and then Seth, some of your experiences as a psychic medium. So awesome stuff. I'm gonna have to have you two back on. I know it's gonna happen one of these days because we're just scratching the surface. But anyways, so you're tuning into the Afterlife Chronicles. I'm your host, Nicole Strickland, with tonight's guests, Seth Michael and Tristan David Luciotti. We will be right back.
'Have you ever longed for just one holiday with a loved one who has passed? Christina Bloom can help you and your family have that holiday. With her mediumship skills, she can contact your loved one on the other side and bring them through as the honored guest for your holiday celebration. By conference call, video chat, or in person, if local to the Southeast Wisconsin region. To schedule your holiday party with Spirit, email Christina at ChristinaBloom.com. That's Christina at ChristinaBloom.com.
I was going to say 45, but it's only 44 minutes past the hour here on the Afterlife Chronicles. on the WLTKDB network, WLTKDB.com. Of course, tonight's guests, Seth, Michael, and Tristan David Luciotti. So before the break, we were talking about the brand new video game, and I'm so glad I know how to pronounce it now. The Haunting of Flavel, right? The Haunting of Flavel House, an actual historical location up in Astoria, Oregon. So pretty amazing stuff. Let's see the website for that. Got to do this again because it's fun, right? shakabrawgames.com. I like how this video game is inspired, like I said earlier, from history, but yet the story is actually genuinely created by Tristan David Luciotti. And it's so cool that Seth has a character in there as well. That's awesome. So like I said, when it comes out, I'm going to be right before I'm going to help promote it. So I can't wait.
Very cool.
So good stuff here.
I'm glad I got to be a part of that.
Yeah.
I auditioned. I sent them like different voices because I wanted to be legit. Like, don't pick me because you're my friend.
I can't wait. Oh my gosh.
It's so good.
How cool is this though? I really love, and I'm sure obviously you guys do. I love when my friends succeed and create new things. It's just, you feel happy. It's great to feel happy for other people. And so it's really fulfilling. But
I would do that. You got to get the game.
What's that? I'm sorry.
I would do the voice, but I think you got to get the game.
I do. Yeah.
To find out. What it sounds like.
That's right. Speaking of the game, so it's available, I imagine, on iOS, Android, all of that good stuff.
I can tell you. So the reason why also it was taking a little bit longer is because originally it was starting with just iOS and Android for mobile, but I moved it also to PC gaming. And there's also there's something called Steam.com, and that's where you can even purchase games, and a lot of gamers can do that. And I decided I wanted the game on there because I'm hoping that people that are like on YouTube and Twitch and different streaming platforms can play the game and really help spread awareness about it.
Exactly.
And also, this is kind of a new thing. Also, another reason. So we're going to have like that part kick off, but I have a little secret. My secret is that I've worked with the developer, and we are also going to create it for PlayStation.
Oh,
wow!
Awesome. Oh, that's huge.
But that won't be June. That's going to be later. We're having to get this done first.
Right. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. But this takes a while because it's like multiple things. So when you develop it for like literally iOS is one type of coding, Android's another, PC is another. It's a lot.
A lot, but you know what? It's worth it to take your time and make sure everything's executed properly, then rush it. So good stuff. Oh my gosh, shakabrawgames.com. We're kind of all over the place tonight, but it's a good thing because everything's almost interconnected in a way. So that's why I like having the two of you on, because you guys are like two peas in a pod. I love it. We're going to have you back on for sure, because these hours, they fly by so fast. My gosh, we only have like 12 minutes left. But I do want to touch on a little bit about White Light Paranormal Insight. And that is the team, Seth, that you co-founded as well. Excellent group of people. It's an honor to know each and every one of them. But your group is a little bit different than some of the other standard investigation groups, because you offer that spiritual resolution component, which I think is important. So can you talk a little bit about how you, meld that in with your actual investigations?
Oh, sure. The history of that, to find out where it all came from, is when I first was pointed out to me that I had these abilities, possibly. And in the beginning, I was one of my roommates who was pretty much my mentor at the time. There was a space, and we talk about it in the movie, where there was this portal in her bedroom and these spirits were shooting out. And what she did was, I would tell her what I was feeling, hearing, and seeing. She could feel and see, and we'd have conversations, and she was letting them know that they can let go of what they were hanging on to, and it would be more specific to their situation. So one was a lady that was not verbal. She was just kind of going back and forth, flicking her tongue a little bit, just kind of act like not real easy to communicate with. But when she talked to her and talked to her about the past, all of a sudden the lady turned into about a 12-year-old girl. And then I saw her go into this light. And that's where it all began. Then I found the spiritualist movement or religion. They call it spirit rescue.
Yes,
it's actually
I like that term. Yeah,
and then there's other things to call it too. I can't think of the name right now, but it's kind of like bringing them to a gatekeeper or something. I can't remember the. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I do, and I'm trying to think of what that is too. I like spirit rescue, spiritual resolution. I mean, it's I wish every group would do this because, that's part of, you go into a site and you investigate and you get data and then you leave. It's like it's unfinished. You know? And for me, I've evolved obviously through the years, but it's like now I'm more concerned and I'm really, I guess, cognizant of my rapport with these energies and if is there anything I can do for them, things like that. So it's not just going in and getting data, but having that connection with the spiritual energies, which I think is really cool.
Right. And along with that too, our slogan is guiding spirits and empowering people.
Yes.
So that they also know they can talk to spirits and let them know boundaries. So for example, there might be something in a kid's room that's making them scared. And the first thing we could do, like if we connect with we feel it's a human spirit, we would just say, hey, just so you know, you're scaring the kid. When this door is closed, that means you can't go in.
Right.
So, and then usually that's all it takes. It's just somebody saying, hey, whoever you are, you're scaring me. Please leave.
Exactly.
And sometimes that's all it takes. And they're like, oh, I didn't know it was scaring you kind of thing. Or
so that's where the education comes in.
Yeah. Or so that's I usually huge. Start with, do you know that you have passed away? And that's usually how I always start. And then I've heard things like, no shit. Or like, tell me something else that's new. But sometimes I hear, oh, and then I don't feel them anymore.
Yeah.
So it's a dream state for some of them in my experience and my belief. And it's just kind of getting them into reality, like, hey, you're not exactly how you were before, and there's a great reward waiting for you, as far as I understand. But you have a choice. You don't have to go there. You can go where you want. But we're just saying this family needs distance and space because they're trying to live just like you did.
Yeah, see? Just the way it's said, with that respect and that compassion, that...
Very misunderstood in the beginning, though, because when we first started, too, there was a lot of people that were just scientific. There was maybe one other booth at Oregon Ghost Conference when it was in Pioneer Center that did cleansings and sort of what we do Resolve. And meaning that we can't guarantee we'll get the thing, whatever's there out, but we're going to do our very best and in the way that we work. And so we were going, saying, hey, we're a cleansing team because we didn't know really what to say yet. We didn't want to make it sound like we're copying everybody. And we got really interesting reactions because some people go about it in a more forcible way.
Right.
And so there's not a lot of education on like Sarah Limo on Morgan City Spirits. Ghosts of Morgan City, she does this technique. She just talks to them.
And see, that's beautiful.
It's like they're with respect with people.
That's it.
Yeah.
And we need more of that.
Take the fear out of it, but there's so much based on fear right now.
Oh I know.
Gosh, yeah.
It's just the craze is, we kind of were addressing, the whole demon issue on Tuesday nights, Haunted Voices Radio and that whole craze. And that's a thorn in our side.
That's a craze right now.
I just don't understand it. I think the spirit world is a very beautiful place.
Right.
And it deserves our respect. And so again, like I said, that's one reason out of many why I admire the two of you and of course, White Light Paranormal Insight. So whitelightparanormalinsight.com is the website for your team, Seth. whitelightparanormalinsight.com.
Yes.
And then you have your own website as well, SethMichaeladvisor.com. SethMichaeladvisor.com. Perfect.
Yes.
Oh my
and
gosh.
we also have an investigative side too. I wanted to say
That's right. Yeah. So I love that.
Oh,
The
yeah.
investigator side, the spirit resolution side, you educate, you document, and that's a well-rounded approach right there. So
thank you.
Keep doing what you're doing. So we have about 5 minutes left. Let's get out I've already given out some of the websites, but we can repeat them because it's very easy to forget. Social media channels, websites.
It is.
Any new? Yeah, right, I know. Let's rewind it to, let's say, 9 minutes when I announced it.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Do we have another hour?
I know, right? 2 hours. I like the hour format, but then it's like shows like this. I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish you can come back on. How much to talk about? All right.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, Tristan, let's start with you. Social media channels, those you wish to promote, of course.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other upcoming projects, real quick?
Oh, right. So, allaroundusfilm.com is the website for the film. We're also on Facebook.
Okay.
So if you search All Around Us Documentary, you will find our page on Facebook.
There you go.
We're also in other places. I just can't remember right now.
Just use All Around Us Documentary and it'll pop up.
Yeah, you can find a lot of stuff. And then for the video game, The Haunting of Flavel House, that's Shaka Bra Games. So SHAKABRAH games.com. And then again, if you look up Shaka Bra Games on Facebook, we're on there too. And again, some other social media stuff. But
awesome.
I'm kind of a big fan of Facebook, and there's stuff on Instagram. But I feel like I can remember to post on Facebook the most.
I know. I go through spurts where I'm on it a lot and then I'm not. It's the craziest thing. And I need to get better with Twitter. I don't hardly ever use it, but
I know.
Oh man. All right, Seth, you're up.
Okay. The lazy way to do it is just Google Seth Michael psychic, and then everything will come up.
There you go. Yeah, you guys are pretty prolific on this. My mom, I'm going to flash it right now. She made a well, there it is. And I saved it because it was kind of, when it came through, it was kind of off topic. But what voice again, Seth, do you have for the video that you play for the video game?
I don't know if I'm allowed to do the voice, but his name is, I am?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Or just, I think she's asking what the name of the person is.
Oh, Uncle Jack.
That's what I thought. Okay,
yeah, Uncle Jack. Seth pays Uncle Jack.
Yeah, if you want to mimic him, you can.
Yeah, another place you can look if you want to see characters or just whatever is going on. But if you go to
I'm a shady character.
IMDb, yeah, you are a little shady. A little slim shady there. But if you go to imdb.com, you can also look up All Around Us film.
Okay.
And on there, you can see everybody, also the crew that was involved too, and all the people that helped out and everything.
Oh, extensive list.
Oh, yeah, extensive list. And then The Haunting of Flavel House is also on IMDb, and you can see the different characters listed, of course, including Seth.
Awesome.
There we go. Uncle Jack Flavel, Seth.
There you go. See? So, oh my gosh. Oh, yep, absolutely. Okay, this has been an amazing, amazing night. I can't wait to get you both back on. I miss you guys. I miss all of you guys up in the Pacific Northwest. So can't wait to see you.
You too.
Yeah, hopefully in March. That'll be great. So it was really good to have you on. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas. I mean, I'm sure we'll see each other on social media, but if we don't talk, have a wonderful holiday season. We'll get you booked after the new year. Amazing, amazing things going on, folks. So thanks tonight to my guests, Seth Michael and Tristan David Luciotti. Let's see what else. I can't think of anything else. Got to end in about 30 seconds here. So like I always say at the end, sometimes I forget, sometimes I don't. Here at the Afterlife Chronicles, we are bridging the gap between mortality and the afterlife, one experience at a time. See you guys next week and have a great night. Good night.
Thank you so much. Good night, everybody.